Hi, it's Jazz here. I'm a retired instructor, but I still love working with Adobe Photoshop. Now, there are lots of new phone apps and other software out there. For instance, a good example is PhotoLab that will turn your photos into very similar looking caricatures such as these with just one click. But I find I can still get a lot more control with Photoshop. And since I am sometimes a control freak, this is the demo you get for today. Now, I used a program called Adobe Fuse and Mixamo to help me build the three-dimensional characters that you see here for my book cover. But Adobe just sold Fuse to another company called Steam, and once they have all those bugs worked out, I'll give you a fun demo on those tools. But for now, if you do create graphic novels, I hope you'll like this simple step-by-step tutorial. Step 1, you want to take a good photo and open it in Photoshop. Now, a good photo, just something not taken from a long distance away that's not in focus. You want everything to be in focus. You want to have some good lights on it, not a lot of hard shadows. So that's step 1. Step 2, you want to save the photo with a new name before you apply any of these effects. And the reason why? You don't want to accidentally save your original photo with all these changes. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As, change the name of it. So I've got my original. And then I'm just going to take that off and change it to something totally different. AAA sounds good. Tell it save at maximum. And that's step 2. Step 3, you want to duplicate this background layer twice. So when you've got it selected, come back under Layer, tell it Duplicate Layer. First one, you're going to name it Top Edges. Reason why, this will tell you that that is the top layer and you're going to put edges on it. And then you select on background again, and you can either right mouse click or you can go back up to layers, but you can duplicate layer again. And this one we're going to call it bottom, because we're going to have two layers. One's going to be a top, one's going to be a bottom. We want to know that this is the bottom layer and it's going to have color. So they need to be in this order. Top edges up here, bottom down here. Okay, that's step 3. Step 4. With top edges selected, you're going to go to the filter menu and under filter gallery. So come on up here, filter menu. Don't click on this top one because that's just going to apply the filter gallery you had already used previously, but you want to come down here to filter gallery here and let this open up. Once it opens up, you're going to go into expand the artistic folder, which it is expanded right now. Click on it and you can see it expanded. And you want to go ahead and if your image is not showing in the middle here, you can hit your little minus button here until it shows up in the center. And then we're going to put in poster edges. And we're going to put the edges in at 10. You can just highlight across it, type in 10, or you can drag the slider, make sure you've typed in 10. Now, you may want to look at it. I think the edge intensity needs to be 10, posterization needs to be at 2, and tell it OK. Step 5, with top edges still turned on, we're going to turn it into a black outline image. So click Image Menu, Adjustments, Threshold. So Image Menu, Adjustments, Threshold should be down about halfway down. And we're going to change this to 49. So type in 49 across there and tell it OK. Still got a lot of lines within it, but that'll disappear later. Step 6. Now we're going to be using a dry brush effect on this. So under top edges, even though we've already turned it into an outline, we're going to go back up to the filter gallery and go to dry brush. So come down to the middle filter gallery, open up till we have artistic opened, and then we're going to click on dry brush right here. And you can choose anywhere from 7 to 10. Again, I'm going to hit my minus key in here. You're not going to really see much of the effects happening here because we've already turned it to black and white. And I'm going to put 7 here, 10 under brush detail, and 1 under texture, and tell it OK. And this may seem a little bit redundant because we'll be doing this later on our bottom color. Okay, we're through with top edges for now, so turn that little eye icon off. Let's see, it's a little sticky there so that we can see our bottom color, but we also want to select on our bottom color. So that is step 7. Step 8. To reduce the amount of color, we're going to select the bottom color, make sure it's highlighted, click Filter Menu, Gallery Filter. So Filter Menu, not the top one, but down here, Filter Gallery, and then we're going to go to Poster Edges on it also. So Poster Edges, I'm going to hit my minus so I can look at the poster edges here. And again, I'm going to put 10 in here. Well, at this point, I'm going to put 0. Excuse me. 0 here, 0 on this, because these are going to be multiplied later. I don't want to see my edge on the bottom layer like I saw on the top one. So, and 2 under posterization, I'm going to tell it OK. Step 9. With this bottom layer still selected, we're going to go to Image Menu Adjustments. So Image Menu Adjustments, and then we're going to go to Levels. So up here, whoops, if I can get it here, Levels. And we're going to go ahead and just move our bottom slider slightly in. This will just help reduce the contrast a little bit. You can see how much I could reduce it. I don't want to reduce it that much, but I want to reduce it a little bit. Now that's all up to each artist. I'm going to go ahead and tell it OK right there. Now step 10, with the bottom color layer still selected, we're going to go to Menu, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. So Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, right about here. And we're going to turn our saturation, we're just going to type in 40 right here. That gives it a bit more color saturation. Alright, step 11, with the bottom color still selected, we're going to go to the Filter menu up here, Filter Gallery, remember down in here that we get it, and go to Dry Brush. And we'd already put Dry Brush. I'm going to hit my minus. I kept zooming in on that. We'd already put Dry Brush on the top layer. Now we're going to put Dry Brush on the bottom layer. And you can put brush size anywhere from 7 to 10, anywhere on your brush detail from 0 to 10. And as I slide it back and forth, you can see the slight difference. And texture, again, you can slide it around. There's not a lot of difference at this point. I'm going to tell it OK. Leave the texture at 1. OK, step 12. We want to go ahead and turn this visibility on the top layer back on, and we want to select on it, and we want to then change the blend mode to multiply. Right now it's on normal. Here shows normal. We click on this little arrow and we find multiply. Multiply kind of lets us see down beneath the layers. Alright, so that's step 12, and we have one more step to do. Step 13, with top edges still selected here, you want to go under Layer Adjustments, so click on the Layer Adjustments button down here at the bottom. Click on that until it opens up. See if it's going to open. Here we go. And then you want to click on Levels. So come up to Levels here. And then watch what happens as you take your slider and move it slightly. You get a little more depth, a little more dark. You can come back in. You can change your highlights, your mid-ranges to get exactly what you're wanting in your graphic art look. So you slide it around to where you've got what you want. And then click OK, and you're ready. Let's see, I may just turn that back down. I like a little bit more color. Okay, I'm going to click just anywhere in the middle of this to bring it back up. If I wanted to do some final touch-up, like if I didn't like quite so much line in the face here, I could take my eraser tool. As long as I'm on top edges, I'll take that eraser tool and I can erase some of the dark lines, and it will just leave, it's allowing us to look at the posterized image, color image below. So again, if you got a little bit too much texture in there, you can finally erase those like that. Okay, and there you go. Now here's one final thing I want to show you. You've already got your graphic novel effect here, but if you wanted to do real caricatures of politicians or whatever, you could take this a step further. Now my high school students loved this. They enjoyed going in and doing this. But before you do it, you have to save it as a JPEG so that it flattens the image. So you've got this image to work by. But go into Filter menu, go down to Liquify, and let's take a look at all the things that Liquify will do. Takes it a second to open up here. Here we go. I can use we've got several tools over here. I love the bloat tool. You can also come over here. You can change the size of the eyes if you wanted, make them bigger or smaller that way. I don't usually use these over here, but the same with the nose height. You can bring it up or down. Nose width, widen it, but you can do it with the bloat tool too, and you can scroll down through. You can see you can got the mouth, other things that you can work with. But I'm going to show you this bloat tool. If I were to choose to select, and you can change your brush size. I've got it at 243 right now, which seems to be about right, so I'm going to move it back up there, and I'm going to click on this eye, and you can see just by clicking twice I've enlarged my eyes a little bit. I could do even more. 1, 2, 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3 clicks, and I kind of have a surrealistic look here. I could go back down to my mouth here if I wanted, and I could put a smile on, a cheesy looking smile. And if I wanted to, I could use my pucker tool to even make my nose smaller. I could hit here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I kind of have a George Bush nose there a little bit, but you can characterize things quite a bit by just playing with these. And like I said, the high school kids just loved working with this. They had a lot of fun. I'm on the bloat tool now, just kind of swirling around a little bit of the hair to give it a little bit of difference. So have fun with that too if you want. And that is my demonstration. Hope you enjoyed it.